Honestly, that weak-ass white girl, Caitlin Clark, was asking for it. She's not even better than me, and we all know that I'm the real face of the league. Nobody cares about that little hillbilly who chucks the ball from damn near 40 and prays to God it goes in. Anyways, she should hit up Draymond Green for boxing lessons, because it's on site next time we see her. Oh, and Lonzo Ball, hit me up if you want the baddest Barbie in the league to slide on.
Yeah. Yeah. AI is the worst, bro. We in some troubling times, my guy.
Oh, that shit, I listened to that shit, yo. I was like, this shit is fucking funny as shit, yo.
Yo, we are in some
We having fun
treacherous
out here,
waters,
man.
bro. They got the voice
We-
right. They got the
right.
voice like it's just crazy. That sounds just like her, bro. Disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, that was AI.
Yeah,
Angel
that's
Reese did
AI,
not say
man.
that. So
Yeah, he did
I don't
not
want.
say that. Yeah,
Yes.
go ahead, bro. Talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about my rant. Let me go on my rant real quick, right?
Okay.
So we're talking about the elephant in the room, right? Everybody's talking about the WNBA and Caitlin Clark and everything that's going on with that. And it's storyline after storyline after storyline. We got in-depth analysis, we got details. Everybody, media outlet wise, is trying to hit the algorithm, trying to hit the whatever they can to talk about this whole Caitlin Clark and WNBA and tell their story. And the key thing about this thing is this is what excitement looks like,
Mm,
right? This is what the growth of a new league looks like to
mm,
me, right? And we're here for it, right? We're here for all the noise, we're here for all the drama, right? Now, media outlets have their
yeah.
own agenda,
Yeah.
and they're going to
And they're
talk
neutral.
about, yeah, they're going to talk about what they want to get across. And a lot of that stuff is going to be filled with clickbait and not honest things, right? Now, the one thing I see about this whole thing that I'm looking at, and I think it's a sensitive subject, and it's always been a sensitive subject, and people are scared to touch it, and it's race. That's really what it comes down to. I think underneath all the layers, it's race. And to me, now you can debate me on this, bro, and I want you to. That the fact is that the women in the NBA, whether they're scared, whether they're jealous, whatever it is, or basketball fans other than WNBA, do not like that there's a white star being put in a position as being the face of the league in a black league. The WNBA is mostly predominantly black women, and the fact that there is a white woman being put as the face, as what we're looking at, what they're trying to get people to relate to, right? When you see Caitlin Clark taking pictures, it ain't a lot of black little kids taking pictures. There's little blonde-headed,
It's a
blue-eyed,
it's a
white
new
girls and white
demographic.
boys, and there's nothing wrong
Nothing
with
wrong
that.
with it. New demographic.
There's nothing at all wrong with that. I want to make sure that's clear. There's nothing wrong with that. That's how it should be. And in my opinion, this is your cash cow, and we talked about this before. You can check out another episode. They need to protect her. She's getting hit intentionally out there, and they need to protect her some way, somehow, because that's the only way you're going to protect the growth and the energy that you're seeing right now in the WNBA.
Right.
And when you have a great hero, what do you need, bro? What makes a great
Villains.
hero?
You're a villain.
You need a great villain. So I applaud. I applaud Angel Reese for seizing her moment and saying that I'm here too. Now I wish she would have chose her words a little bit better and said
Yeah.
we're here, but the spotlight is big enough for her too. Because without Angel Reese in the 2-year history, well, no, the 3-year history almost this year and 2 years of college that these two have had, without that, this doesn't really happen the way it's happening, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So there's actually a storyline that you can go back and look at this. It's just like people who are just getting hip to the WNBA and just watching women's basketball got to understand this goes back. And that's
Mhm.
what makes great stories. That's
Yeah.
what make great, kind of rivalries is what we're talking about.
Mhm.
And the one thing that I've heard is that kind of Bird and Magic dynamic that we're getting here.
Yeah,
Now, I don't think it's that because I don't think both players are great. Like when Bird and Magic got to the league,
they
they were
both are
great
great.
right now.
Both are good. Right.
You know what I mean? They use you. It was greatness right now.
Right.
I mean, Magic won the chip as a rookie.
Hmm.
So when and not even that, they were bitter enemies. And what are they now? Almost damn near brothers,
Best friends. Well, I mean, because they were
best
matched
friends
up all year long. I mean, every
all
year they were
year
matched
long.
up. Through college, they were battling. I mean,
And
yeah, it's very similar, but it's not because, like you said,
it's
two two
exactly, it's
two
very
two people have
similar
to
and it's
be great to do that. But I get the white, the black
but it's
mantra
but it's a good thing though. I
storyline.
I, I look at it as a good thing. People are scared to touch on it, but I look at it as a good thing because people are picking sides, right? And they typically pick sides when you look at the color of skin. But what has been the ultimate barrier breaker? It's always been sports. Always been sports. Music and sports have always been the two constant things that break race
Right.
and break those barriers. I think this is going to make the WNBA better. This will make women's sports be better. And this will obviously, hopefully, make the country better. Join the fucking club, man. Like, just join the club. You know what I mean? It's tough because it's sensitive, bro. It's really
Yeah.
sensitive. And people who are not intelligent to have a sensitive conversation across the pond in terms of white versus black. But sports have always transcended that. Always.
Right.
Always transcended that. And I'm not saying Caitlin Clark is it because there's a let me look at her stats real quick because I want to put some respect on her name. I did my research on this one because I had to because I'm becoming a fan just like anybody else and everybody else. I don't watch WNBA. I am watching now because of the conflict, because of the content. But Asia Williams, 2 times WNBA player of the year. Basketball NBA SB Award winner, 5 times All Star, WNBA Rookie of the Year, WNBA All Rookie Team, 3 times WNBA First Team, All WNBA Second Team, 2 times All Defensive Team, All Defensive Team Second Team, 3 times Black Leader, Commissioner's Cup Champion, U.S. Basketball Female Athlete of the Year, and FIBA World Cup MVP, all across the last 4 or 5 years. She's a baller. She
Yeah.
is a
Best
star.
best
She
player in
is
the
the
league.
best player in the WNBA, and she's not getting any acknowledgement or really any marketability. And I get it, but I'm just gonna be real. We said it last time. Caitlin Clark is the cash cow. People are talking about this because of Caitlin Clark. People are selling out arenas because of Caitlin Clark. They had, I think, the Fever were on maybe like they had 15 or 17 prime time on TV, and
National
they had
television.
the highest numbers because of Caitlin Clark.
Mhm.
Let's don't be scared to call a spade a spade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're going to take the WNBA model and they're going to try to put it in the WNBA. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
But we
It's
didn't live through the Bird. Well, me and you from our era, we didn't live through the Bird and Magic, so we don't know what that racial tension was at that time. Well, that racial tension was really high at that time too. Let's
yeah.
not sleep on that. Like we saw Showtime, the TV show on HBO. We got a hint of it, but living it is completely different. And I think this is what we're seeing. We're seeing something similar to that.
Mhm.
It's not that, but it's very similar because people are picking sides. And I think it's good for basketball. I think it's good for the WNBA. And this is part of their growth and their explosion of what the WNBA is going to look like in a couple years.
I listen, man. I think what you're saying is spot on. I can't debate you on that. I would say something a little bit different on.
God,
Um,
yeah, let me hear it, bro.
I think the race is more surface level. I think it's like you said, easy clickbait. It turns eyes because it's
Yeah,
been a trend in America
for
for
sure.
for a good amount of years now.
Election
Of the
coming up.
right. You got a lot of things that's happening now. I think what's happening with, and we talked about this on the last episode. Um, Caitlin Clark is the golden goose. She's earned it. it does help that she is white too, right? She's unique. She's white and she can ball and she's doing things that we haven't seen happen in women's basketball, at least on a
Ever,
college level. The way can she
ever.
can shoot the ball at will, quick or get off is quick. Her IQ is very high. Um, able to pass the ball and lead a team to lead her team to almost to a championship, right?
Yep,
Um, and hopefully that transition would run over his course into the WNBA. And it looks like that following that she gained through college has now followed her all the way through, where you're getting sold out arenas. Your Indiana Fever, as bad as the team as they are prime time basketball. Everybody wants to see it.
for sure.
My thing is this: I understand between the lines. We both are athletes, regardless. There's a competitive nature amongst athletes, right? So
Yeah,
between the lines, that's where you're starting to see all this tension. I don't think it's a race tension between the lines. I think the race is more outside the lines. I think in between the lines when the girls are playing, because mind you, I ref basketball, I ref a lot of women's basketball. Women's
okay.
basketball is some of the toughest. I'm trying to think of a nice word to say. I don't want to say dirty, but like scrappy. Scrappy
Yeah,
is game more than the male game. A lot
they
has to do
they
with
suit
their
up. They play ball
right.
too. It's
A lot
ball.
has to do with their competition. At the same time, they're also not super strong to hold their base. Does that make sense? So you get a lot of falls, you get a lot of more hip checks that look more explosive. Impacts may seem a little more than really what it is versus a guy's game that can be a little bit more strong and hold their ground a little bit more. So it looks worse in a women's game than it does in a male game. So now that the new eyes are seeing this, they're looking at it like, what's going on? They're attacking Caitlyn. It's almost like an attack on Caitlyn.
It is.
Versus
No, it is.
that's the way WNBA is.
Yeah.
They ball. Like they scrappy, they not letting you come in the paint, they not letting you ruck shop. So I think within the lines there's competition. And I also want you to understand, Caitlyn got a mouth on her. Okay. She's not this innocent.
Can't see
Yes.
me.
Don't forget that. She ain't this
Right.
innocent young lady that ain't talking shit on a court. Like she comes with her mouthpiece, and these
She
girls
talks
that
shit
she's
just
playing
like
against,
anybody else.
right? And a lot of times, what's
Yeah.
happening is you're seeing like, "Hey, yo, this is not college, baby girl. This is the WNBA, and we're gonna let you
Yeah.
know it's WNBA real quick." So that's why you're seeing that type of energy that looks like it's going against Caitlyn, and Caitlyn trying not to back down as much as she can. But I think a lot of it she puts on herself too. But it's great TV, which is
Oh
what you
yeah.
want. You want people
Yeah.
to
It's
tune in
fun.
for the drama. Listen. The WNBA been around for a long time, running in the red.
Yes.
That means a loss. Okay?
Yeah.
This golden goose has now come and ultimately changing the page like that
For sure.
and potentially have you guys
Fact.
running in the green. So if I'm one of the ladies, I get it. Between the lines, we gonna go at it.
Yeah.
But once we done, I'm gonna pipe you up. I'm gonna say, yeah, man. Caitlin's tough. Even if I feel about her, don't she tough, man. She gonna be a good person. She's gonna be good in this league. She's gonna be blah blah blah. She
But
doesn't
they
back
not doing
down.
that
They're
though.
not doing that, and
They
that's
not
that's the
doing
problem
that.
I have. That's the issue I have.
Yeah.
They
They
wanna
not.
they wanna do the opposite, and that's why it looks like they're hating. That's why it looks like it's envious.
Her teammates should be doing that. I don't think any other like that's why I said I applaud Angel Reese for saying I'm going to wear the villain hat because I
Yeah,
know she's the
but
hero.
they have relations
They
there.
have history.
So she can say that, but if I'm a WNBA and I notice that, hey, now I'm riding in charter planes within a month of Caitlyn being here, I know that she's moving that financial needle.
Mm,
So yeah, between the lines, we're gonna go at it. I'm not gonna let you get nothing extra. I'm gonna knock your ass down. I'm gonna strap you up like they've been strapping her up. I'm gonna be
yeah.
physical. But after the game, I'm gonna say, yeah, it was a good game. They asked me questions, I'm gonna answer the questions because she's your golden goose. You want to continue to let her rise. You want the eyes to continue to pull in because
Of
all of a sudden here
course.
comes the money gonna be falling down,
Yeah,
and
the
that's gonna
money's
help you in a
coming.
effect. It's the Tiger
Yeah.
Woods effect. That's what this is happening. What you're seeing
Yeah.
right now is the Tiger Wood effect. New eyes, which was at that point for golf, was the African American community, was attracting and looking at Tiger Woods as, hey, look at this guy that looks like me that's in this game amongst all pretty much majority a white fan base and
Yeah.
athletes. And you see the cash cow come in, right? Behind Tiger Woods, he led the charge. The other golfers, some may have hated, but the other ones kind of let it sit back and seeing like, oh shit, this tournament now I'm going to possibly make $1 million versus $100,000 because there's
Yeah.
one man. You seen that page change quick, right? And I think that's what WNBA needs to do because she is the chosen one. She is, and
She is.
you need to make sure that she continues to grow within the league.
I think the problem is because she's not the best player in the league, or she's not close to being the best player in the league, and she's a rookie. But I mean, I get what the women are saying. I get their side of it, but like I said, you gotta call a spade a spade. You gotta call a spade a spade. Y'all wasn't selling out shit until she
At
came
all.
into the
Nope.
league.